Most families who want to raise bilingual children or immigrants who want to teach their children their ethnic language do not succeed. Not because they don't care, not because bilingualism is hard. If you're planning to raise bilingual children, or if you're an immigrant and you want to teach your kids your ethnic language, this video is for you. Here is the reality. In most immigrant families, language shift is the norm. Language shift is like everyday practice. And most children understand the basics of the language. They can understand what you're saying. They can say maybe a few words here and there, but most of them cannot express themselves in their ethnic language, cannot hold a conversation in their ethnic language. You can talk to your children in your ethnic language and they answer back in English or in the dominant language wherever you are. And slowly they stop using the heritage language altogether. So in this video, I'm going to go step by step on why most families trying to teach their children the ethnic language, or families trying to raise bilingual children, end up failing. And by the way, guys, if you're new here, I'm writing an ebook about teaching bilingual kids for immigrants. So if you're interested, subscribe to my channel and join my community. I'll leave the link in the description so that you're the first person to know when I release the ebook. Now, let's go step by step on why families trying to raise bilingual children, or immigrants trying to teach their children their ethnic language, most of them fail. I'm going to explain in parts, and now I'm going to start with part one. The biggest misconception parents have is that if I expose my child to the language, they will learn it. Yes, exposure is good, but it's not enough. If you want to know the equation for raising bilingual kids, you can watch this video. I'll link it down below. It's about the bilingual success equation. If you want your children to be bilingually successful, or if you want them to speak 2 languages or more, the equation you need to follow for it to happen. So I made a video about it. I'll link it in the description. You can go check it out after this one. Continue. I was saying that yes, exposing your children to the language is important, but it is not enough. Kids do not speak the language because they heard you speaking it. Kids speak the language because they need it. Children are incredibly practical. They will always prioritize the language of their school, the language of their friends, the language of their playmates, to the language of the person that makes them feel good about themselves, the language of belonging and status. If one language feels optional, it will become optional very fast, because guess what? These kids do not need to know the language because it's not the dominant language where they live. So you have to know that it's much more than exposure that is needed for your child to be able to achieve fluency in the language. So now, part 2 of the video, I'm going to tell you actually why most families become unsuccessful. So why number 1? The reason why most families fail at teaching their children the ethnic language is motivation disappears. When kids are little, they want to please their parents. They want to they don't care if they speak in a weird way. They don't care if they speak and there is an accent. The kids do not care when they are very little. However, when children start to grow up, they start to get aware of their surrounding, and they start to like scan the surrounding around them. If you get what I mean, they become socially aware. They notice accents. They feel embarrassment. They feel discouraged. They don't get motivated enough. And if the heritage language is associated with pressure or bullying, or like being laughed at or being looked down on, or making fun of them, it becomes emotionally heavy and the kids avoid it. Number 2, the environment is doing most of the work. This is something that is underestimated, but just know that as you're teaching your children your ethnic language, as you're trying to teach your child another language, just know that you are competing with the dominant language of where you live, because it is the language of the society. It is everywhere. It is at the school. It is with your kids' friends. It is with where your kids go to play. It is in the library. It is at the park. It is like everywhere your child associates with. The media your kids consume. So basically the environment your kid is exposed to shapes their language. The dominant language is everywhere and effortless, and your ethnic language or your target language only exists with the parents at home or with a few relatives here and there, but it's not really in many places. In that case, the ethnic language or the target language that you're trying to teach your child is already at a disadvantage. Number 3, emotional layers parents do not expect. This part is really important and rarely talked about. Many parents, their heritage language or their ethnic language carries identity, it carries family history, success, it carries failure, it carries pride, it carries, like, it's heavy. So when a child resists the language, it can feel personal, but for a child, it's not the case. For them, it's not rejection. For them, it's navigation. They're trying to navigate their environment they're in. They are trying to figure out where they belong. They are trying to know, like, am I here? Am I there? Am I, like, what is happening? You know, they're telling me, this one, I come from here, yet I was born here, yet I've grown up here, yet I don't know anything about that culture or that language or that, you know. So they are navigating so many things at some point. And if language feels like a burden instead of a bridge, children tend to walk away from it. So now, part 2 of the video is, so what actually works? Families which succeed long term usually do a few things differently. Number 1, they create a real need for the language. For example, making it clear to the kids from day one that we are going to speak this language. Whenever we are doing this, or whenever we're in this place, or whenever we are speaking to so and so, we are speaking in language X. We are speaking in language Y as long as we're communicating to our family. So, like, they create the need for the language from the beginning so that the kids do not get confused when they reach up and then now you start bombarding them with a language that they don't even know. Number 2, they make the language emotionally safe. This is what I mean. They don't laugh at their kids when they make mistakes, and they don't constantly shame or correct their kids. Yes, you can correct them here and there once in a while, but not every word they are saying. Sometimes it gets annoying when you're correcting the child with every word they say. At some point, you have to let them correct their own mistakes. As they keep hearing the word, they somehow get it and correct it themselves. I'm not saying you don't correct your kids, but, like, use discernment to correct. Number 3, families that succeed connect the language to joy. They connect the language to happiness. They connect the language to good things. There is one person I know who said that the reason they hate their language is because the only time his parents spoke to him in their language was when they were going to punish him. And he, like, associated his language with punishment. So he doesn't like his language at all. So that's a bad experience. So it is important that you connect your children's language, or the language you're trying to teach, the target language or your ethnic language, to joy, to happiness. Connect it with things your child loves. For example, if your child loves birthdays, you can maybe do the birthday in the language you're targeting. If your child loves X, Y, and Z, do X, Y, and Z in that language. Like food, humor, music, stories, like, do the stories in your language, do the music play the music in your language, make humor in your language, like, cook food while speaking your language, say out the ingredients with your child in your language, stuff like that. Number 4, they play the long game. Fluency doesn't happen at age 5. You just have to constantly keep putting in the work until the results show up quietly. 5, they accept uneven progress. Sometimes, some days are not good, some days are hard, some days are easy. So you have to be able to accept that. They understand that switching languages is normal. They understand that sometimes a word can skip off your head and you, like, say it in the dominant language. So the progress is uneven, and that's okay. If you're watching this and you're thinking, wow, this is harder than I expected, you're right. It's not easy. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. You haven't failed, you are not behind, and it isn't too late. Raising bilingual kids isn't about control, it's about relationship. It's about creating space where language creates connection. I want you to understand that even partial success matters. I want you to understand that some language is better than no language at all. Success matters, understanding matters, emotional connection matters. And sometimes the seed you plant doesn't grow until much later. So be patient with your kids and yourself. If this video resonated with you, please comment down below and let me know how you're doing and which language are you trying to teach your children and what has been your hardest part or what are the challenges you're facing. I'll be in the comments reading and replying your comments. And if you would like to know if teaching my kids my ethnic language has been worth it, you can watch this video next. If you want to know if teaching my kids my ethnic language has been worth it, you can watch this video next. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.